here is another installment of opening a bookstore or of me opening this bookstore, which has been in the works for far too long. And here we are in 2024, literally January 1st of 2024, and we are planning on opening this store to the public for the first time, either the end of this month or the beginning of February, depending on certain things. But I wanted to keep those updated who have been following along this journey, and it's been a little while since I made a video. I've made a couple videos about this particular space on my channel and wanted to share an update. So again, it is the 1st of January of the new year of 2024. I've had this space for far too long, actually. I've had it for over 3 years. Far too long in the sense of not opening it yet and not having it pay for itself, but I have been utilizing it as storage in the back for everything I sell online, making lots of videos here for my sales online, other things going on. But in terms of opening the store, I've put a lot of work into it. If you've watched past videos, you may remember that the walls were a different color. They were black and red, believe it or not. And so I had everything painted. I had the electrical looked at, upgraded, etc. Everything in regards to that to be ready to go, as well as lighting. I got lighting in the back, that back room here, or back space portion of the bookstore, which you can see is very long and narrow. Back here, I had poor lighting up top, and these LEDs were put in. That's been now a couple years ago, as well as the new lighting back here, as you can see in the ceiling. All of that came along with it as well to bring a lot more light back here. It was pretty dark. It's still a little bit dark here, but it's definitely something we can work with. And all these lights were already in place. So the electrical around the front door here, there was essentially, it's like an iron door. I believe it was referred to as an iron curtain, where it was a huge sort of a lot of metal here that went all the way around and framed it. And it was like a curtain that you would slide closed. If you remember those from back in the day, they had that here. It wasn't being used. It was in the way. It was kind of dangerous. Barely attached to the wall. So I had someone come in, remove it. And then I had someone haul away all of that metal. Yeah, so that was also done. The paint job was a big deal because it was just a mess, like all around there. It was kind of a big mess. So that was a big deal. And yeah, also there were bookcases here down the middle, tons of books. What I wanted to do was, I see what they were trying to do, just have more books, but it opened up the space a lot. And so now people can walk in without being cramped. Right here, there was books here, so there was no way two people could stand. Somebody could walk in while somebody was standing. It was a bit of a mess. So we opened it up and understanding that there's going to be less books on the sales floor, but for now we're going to do that to open it up, as well as potentially having some sort of, book signing or I don't know, event, a tiny event here. We could fit maybe 15, 20 people as a possibility. So that was done as well. There used to be a makeshift counter, which was a desk and another little table kind of situation. We took that out because they were really old. I've also cleaned the floor. There were carpets, rugs, multiple rugs, old dusty rugs, got rid of those. I swept, shined, buffed as much as I could, with this type of stuff, polish, restore and cleaner, and it looks much, much better, much brighter than it was before. So all those things have been done, but just to let you know where we are with this, well, that's where we are, but there are things, I made a list yesterday that we need to accomplish in order to get the store open. So number one, a seller's permit, which is not that big of a deal. I also need to get a business license, which takes a little bit longer, but I need to get that. And then things like, which I just got, to take payments is this square situation. What is it called? Square stand. But also I had to get all of the accoutrements. So essentially a new iPad, which is going to be the how we're going to take payments. We're not going to do cash here. We're going to do just digital, just to make sure that no one's trying to come in here and take cash. So that's going to happen. That needs to be set up. Internet access. I need a new sign outside because the current sign is the old sign up there. I'm going to cover it with a vinyl up there. I'm going to cover that with vinyl on both sides, a vinyl sign, and tie it in place. Other things like more books, new inventory. I'm going to be working on putting those together. What else? Also getting a new counter here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we do need some sort of counter, which I'm looking into, to fill this space so that we can have a proper checkout area. There's just a lot of kind of small to not really big, huge things to do to open, but a decent amount. Also, I want to repaint out here. I'd like to put something on the wall, probably painted, not a sign, so it can't be torn down, about we want your books, donations and trades, that kind of thing. Figure out the verbiage, but we are actively going to be seeking out people's books, to bring books to us so that we can either get donations or do trades and figure that out going forward. Another thing that I've thought a lot about, but I haven't figured out yet, is whether or not to keep the organization, the way that the books are organized, in the same way. So, like, as an example, they have lots of signs. They have travel, self-empowerment, a lot of self-empowerment. Maybe that's like self-help, games and puzzles, new age. What do we have over here? There's a lot of art books, tons of art books, arts and crafts, music, gardening. So as you can see, Christianity, a lot of different religions, business, history, all kinds of history books. Then you get over the cookbooks. Then there's fiction. All this is fiction, different types of fiction. There's also YA, young adult. There's also kids books. And then there's all kinds of other fiction books like thriller, mystery. Then there's a bunch of science fiction over here as well. So also lots of nonfiction. And I took away a lot of the books here, kept some of the books that made more sense, and the ones that I didn't feel wanted to keep, got rid of those. So in terms of reorganizing, that's always up for change. But I think the most important thing is getting the store ready and opening it, and just kind of adjusting and making changes as we go forward. Hiring somebody that we have confidence in, that we can leave to run the store by themselves. That is also a big deal, which we're working on right now. We might be hiring somebody soon. So these are all the things that we're considering in opening the store. There's also a lot of, we love that the bookshelves are built in. There's also a lot of empty space on the walls, which I had painted over. Before they had paintings up there, so I don't know. We're thinking about different things like, what if we had someone, because we are in what's called the Arts Colony downtown, is referred to as Arts Colony. So we're thinking about maybe what if we had a mural? I don't know, something that would attract people also to come down and say, they have this really amazing mural. They have X, Y, and Z. So there's all this space. Like, what do we do with all this empty space? It could be used for something. So that's kind of other thoughts that we're having. We have a little bit of space here to put more shelving, but we're pretty maxed out on the shelving, aside, other than considering putting, a random shelf in the middle or something like that, which as of now we're probably not going to do, because we do like it being open. And we do know that it is a smaller space, but yet holds a lot of books. And this location, as a little background, was the former tenants who owned it and ran it, operated for 12 years, a dozen years. So they kept it open, and they had a following, and things happened. One of the owners, it was a couple, one of them died, and then the other one, COVID hit, so they had to close it for COVID. And anyway, they were a little bit too old to deal with it, to deal with everything that was going on. And they loved books, loved sharing books, love putting books in people's hands, all that stuff. So we want to keep that going and see see how far we can go. So that's where we are, is all of those, some of the things I mentioned, some other things to get it up and moving. This downtown area is really become vibrant again after the pandemic. There's a lot of events that happen down here. This is a downtown area. There's even a downtown owners association next door. Most things are closed today because it's Monday, number one, and number two, the first day of the year. But there's an antique row across the street. There's lots of restaurants. That building has concerts. There's a big theater across the street over there. So there's lots and lots that goes on down here. Especially on the weekends, they'll hold events twice a month. There is an organization that puts on an event down here. They call it like a market. And they literally, this whole, like the street will be blocked off. And there will be streams of people walking down the street. There will be vendors all up and down the street, like blocks, all the way down, all the way to the other direction. And they'll be selling food, merchandise, whatever, jewelry, all kinds of random stuff, little pop-ups, clothes, whatever it may be. And people will just, a lot of families, a lot of young people, a lot of older people, just milling around, walking back and forth. There's also down the way, there's a space where they set up for performances, live performances. So people will be playing music, bands will be playing. So it's a big deal. It's about like a 4-hour, it's like 5 to 9 or something like that. They do every or twice a month. So that's another thing that we're banking on helping us when we first open, because imagine that this place is literally teeming with people, and I'm not kidding, there's probably thousands of different people walking past here. So we open our door wide open. We have a sign. Where is it? Oh, it's around here somewhere. We have a sign that says books. And we'll just put that out, stick it in the thing there, stick it in the little, where the little vegetation is. Yeah, and be open. And I'm sure we'll get lots of people to come in when we first open. That's something we're banking on to help us kind of get going. And then starting to grow our online presence, create a different Facebook page, that kind of thing. Start building up a mailing list. The things that I've been doing with my other location. But the difference being that location that I've had for 4 years is not a traditional retail space, while this one is in an area that is now, after the pandemic, has really come back strong. And there's lots and lots and lots of things going on here. Lots of people come down here to eat, to go to a show, to buy music, to just walk around. So it's a great location, and we're excited about it. All right, so that's the update, and I will see you in the next video as we move forward and take more steps towards opening. Thanks for watching, guys.